So I want to start off by talking about the coolest thing I did today. I was gloating with victory. When was the last time you guys ever did a scratch off?
It's been a couple years.
A couple of years. Mason?
Christmas.
Oh, do you always get scratch offs for Christmas?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
$1, $2. Like I never win.
Yeah. So I went to racetrack, picked up some beers. Mary got some wine, and I saw this Monopoly scratch off, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'll do one. It was a $20 one. And Mary's like, you're gonna do the $20 one? And I was like, yeah.
Whoa.
I never do scratch offs, like maybe like once a year or whatever. And so I won $50. I won $50 off of it, and I was like, yeah.
So you're good funding. Thanks for nothing for the next
2 years.
Yeah.
We don't spend much money on this thing, so it should be good for a while. But yeah,
my an immediate baby, hang on, baby. Hey, guess what I want, baby? We don't have to work for another fucking month.
I got us some $50. Yeah. So I was gloating with victory because it's just match the numbers with the winning numbers, whatever. And it was four lines, 5 numbers each. You had 20 chances to win, and I was on that fourth line just aggressively scratching because I hadn't won anything. And I was like, this is bullshit. This is a waste of $20. Why did I even? And I got a 2, which matched a 2, and it was $50 fucking bucks. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. All right. It was the second to last number, and I was like, yeah. And I ran back inside. I was like, give me my money. And I thought it was 30. I thought it was $30. And so like I handed it to her, and she was like, oh, you got a winner? And so she scratches off the barcode and she hands me $50. I was like, what? And she was like, oh, 50. I can't even read the numbers right. I was like, oh, $50. Awesome.
Oh.
She was like, sir, this is $5,000. You need to go to the lottery center.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You have to drive to Austin. Sorry.
Well, no, I think how it works is there's a place in Fossil Creek that lottery redemption's up to 100,000, and then if it's something like that, and anything over that, you have to go to Austin. But yeah, they have like lottery redemption centers like around certain places. But yeah,
you were at 7-Eleven, and he just racetrack.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just got like what 2 24 packs.
That's it, and ran out, and I was like, oh, we're eating tonight. No,
we're rich.
No, what probably would have happened is she was like, actually, no, sir, this is like the big winner. This is $500,000. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, give me the 500,000. She's like, well, no, you have to drive to Austin. And then I caused like a robbery, like a holdup, like give me my fucking money. Mary's still waiting in the car, like, what's taking him so long? And then she sees me like in there, like grabbing me, like, give me my fucking money. Give me my fucking money right now. And now I'm arrested. I lose the ticket. Things happen. That's probably the way.
No, you slyly hand the ticket to her so that she could keep it safe for you while you had to deal with the cops. But then, out of nowhere, she just drives down to Austin and claims it, and you never see her again.
Bitch. Actually,
it's a Matthew Perry movie, is it not?
Clerks can't win their own tickets, can they?
I would imagine. I mean, it's not like they know which ticket's the winning ticket.
Oh, come on. If you were working at a gas station, you're not telling me you would start scratching off those bottom little barcodes and scanning each one, trying to tear the ticket? Well, actually, no.
I think you're like this, where you're just like.
Yeah, exactly.
Under the camera.
I heard there's this really cool theory. My dad told me that one of his coworkers, another crew chief, I think those packs of lottery tickets, like just the $10 ones, I think it comes out to like $1,000 or whatever, like 100 roll lottery ticket thing. So what he figured out was if he pays $1,000 towards a whole roll of lottery tickets, he has like an 80% chance of just breaking even. So the odds are even better in his favor to even try to just get all his money back or win more if that roll had a jackpot in it. So he drops $1,000 at a time on lottery scratch offs. I was like, that's actually kind of genius. You're like trying to swing the odds in your favor, basically playing that way. But I would never get $1,000 on lottery tickets.
Well, it's a lot of scratching to do. I mean, you got to just basically have nothing to do, and that's what this is what I'm doing for the afternoon. I'm scratching off 100 tickets. I talked
family fun.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I talked to my brother about this because he used to work for racetrack, I think. And he's like, yeah, because the dollar scratch offs come in, I think $200 or 200 packs or the rolls, and those are, like you said, even those are all but guaranteed to at least break even. Not to mention the handful that are going to be $5 and $10 and $20 tickets,
which is going to win you and then some. Yeah.
If you're not guaranteed to make your money back, but you're very likely to make your money back at least. And then you can just roll it right back on in.
And then maybe you actually get the jackpot ticket that has the most money. Now you're making a profit off of it.
Right. The only issue is being able to actually get there before anybody pulls off of that one roll. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Because you fuck it all up. You fucked it up.
Yeah, because if one ticket is pulled off, you know that's going to be the jackpot. And you're just going to have wasted however much money you spent on that whole roll.
You go in the car, do autistic screeching, just So anyways, guys, thanks for nothing. This is episode number 102. I am Mike. To the, I guess the left of me is Mason, and below me is Dustin. It's been the three of us, and pretty excited that we're still carrying on with this. And I wanted to start off by talking about more about this pandemic. Not going to get too political about it. I know we do that all the time because we love discussing politics, and I don't know, it may get political at some point, but I'm pretty sure this won't. I had a really interesting conversation.
Can I do like my Joe Biden impression?
Okay. Joe, wake up. Joe's not listening anymore.
I'm still voting for him. Go on.
So I had a really interesting conversation yesterday with my sister, and we were talking about your essential workers and the work from home mandates that were put in place with a lot of companies. And I relate this to in Texas about how you can't take alcohol to go, right? So then when this happens, they kind of passed, it's okay. Like they allowed it where you can, margaritas to go, liquor to go, whatever it is, you can go ahead and take it as long as it's sealed and it's shut. I knew the moment that was done, that law was just going to be put in place forever.
Jimmy Buffett
they weren't going to take that out. Do what?
Jimmy Buffett came in his pants.
It just creamed.
He slipped on a pop rock, if you know what I'm saying.
So that
true Margaritaville.
This is the essence. That
business on Saginaw Main Street, Mr. Froze. There's only a reason why they can't call it Mr. Freeze, but Mr. Froze. I didn't think it was going to make it. I don't know about you guys, but I really thought. I don't know how many times you guys have actually driven by that place on Saginaw Main Street. I know that's a little out of y'all's way, but it was always empty before this pandemic. Always empty.
Never heard of it until we went to your place.
And you saw it, and it's been busy every single day since that law has been put in place, for margaritas to go. Now, I believe that they had found a loophole in the system about how you can get those margaritas to go. And I think it was the gallon jug thing. It's sealed. And technically you could do that before this mandate was even put in place. So now that Abbott, signed into the bill or whatever, liquor to go, it's fine, margaritas, whatever. That place I have never seen, and also because we're all pretty much alcoholics now, because we had nothing else to do. I think that business is probably the most profitable business in Saginaw right now because it went from
it's just grape juice.
And so what I think happened is the owner of Mr. Froze, I think said a little prayer one night before he lost his business, saying, God, please lend me a hand in saving my business. And this happened.
Send me a plague.
Send me a plague. And now he is just swimming in money because those gallons of margaritas, where do they go for? Like $40 a pop, right? $35, $40.
The big ones, I mean, they're reasonably priced. I mean, the one we got that one time was like $40, but I mean, that was, you're not drinking that one sitting.
No, of course not. No.
Well,
I am.
Don't do it. You're going to throw up everywhere because
too much sugar.
Sugar, and you're very bad at drinking. Don't do that. You know that. because you're already 8 beers deep whenever you tap into that.
You're right. Yeah, that's the
So
problem.
By the time that sounds like a good idea.
It's already not a good idea. But no, so that is an example of a change that's happened, just let alone in the state. Places doing to-goes. And now Abbott said
as far as the state goes, but look at all the other states that have less draconian, like Texas, for our whole everything's bigger in Texas, and we do think like there's Texas and then there's the rest of America, and then you can't buy liquor on Sundays, and you can't buy liquor in Walmart. Please don't do that. It's so bad. But you go to any other fucking state, you go to a gas station, New Mexico, let me get a pack of cigarettes and that little half bottle of whiskey.
And I think it's St. Louis, yeah.
Yeah. Texas is just like, we fought and died at the Alamo to preserve freedom, but just don't drink whiskey.
You don't need to drink on the Lord's hour, guys. You don't need to drink. No, like I believe, I'm not 100% sure about this, but we talked about this too. I know actually us in the podcast, we've talked about this, but New Mexico, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Colorado, all the states that are bordering, gambling's legal, right? Let's see what else. Marijuana is legal in all those states in some way, shape, or form. I wonder if do you think liquor to go was legal as well in all those states that are surrounding the state?
Probably not Oklahoma, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Oklahoma with their 4.2% alcoholic beer.
Oh no, 4.2 is normal for Bud Light. That's across the nation. They had to drop theirs down to like 3.5 or something. 2
or 3. They were like at 3% or something like that. Because I've seen.
Yeah, Budweiser, Bud Light, Coors Light, Miller Lite, those are all 4.2.
Yeah.
And then I think Budweiser, Bud Heavy, the Yellow Bellies, those are all at 5. And then
us as alcoholics, we know these stats, we know these numbers.
See, I have an excuse because I work in craft beer, guys.
Oh yeah, I know. God, your hair's so long. So anyway, what was it? I remember drinking with some Oklahoma boys.
Okay, you're right.
Is it like 2% or 3%?
Oklahoma?
Yeah. Yeah,
theirs is down to like 3, like 2, high 2s or 3.
Yeah, that's water. That's what you're drinking. And what's funny is there were some boys from Oklahoma who rolled their joints all wrong. Anyways, okay, so they were in the oil field and they were visiting Dallas-Fort Worth for a weekend, and they were up at the bar off of Beach Street, and they were just drinking Bud Light, which here it's 4, whatever. And they had like 4 or 5, and they were like, "Whoa! Like this is way stronger." And us who drink it were like, "This is moonshine." And they're like, "No, because the alcohol content in Oklahoma is way lower." And that's when I found out that actually the alcohol content in Oklahoma is lower than where it is everywhere else. So they're like, they could kill a 12-pack like nobody's business up in Oklahoma, but here they have 5 or 6, and they're like, "Whoa!" Like
you just drink carbs and you don't get drunk. Congratulations.
Yeah, when you're drinking just piss water, that's what happens.
Back to like $10.
This is, essentially Bud Light in Oklahoma is Zima everywhere else.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Zima's a little bit less alcoholic than their stuff, but not by much.
That's crazy. But the main point I wanted to talk about though is for essential businesses, getting back on that, because the reason why I asked about the surrounding states, talking about commerce basically with liquor to go, Abbott said that's probably just going to stay in place. It took something this big for them to go, all right, it doesn't matter. They can keep it. Obviously they're making a profit off of it. Businesses are booming with this kind of market. So why did we hold back? Because of the Bible.
With biblical things like that, they can't see control just at will. They have to have something to cause it.
Exactly.
That's why do they give a shit about gay marriage in Texas? No, they don't, but they know their voters are typically more
Bible Belt.
And so when the federal government comes in and says no, it's legal, and they're like, all right, we have to make it legal. The federal government did.
They don't give a shit. If you really want it.
Yeah, they don't fucking care, man.
We've been asking for this for like 50 years, but yeah, no, that's.
Oh, fine. Really? We never heard you. Why didn't you say something sooner?
If you said something, we would have done it. I mean, if you see something, say something.
In the same, example though, if we talked about the surrounding states, you look at gambling, it's legal in most of those states. They don't want it. They pay to where we don't legalize gambling here because the majority of their business is from Texas, especially Oklahoma. I mean, I feel like if they legalize gambling in Texas and we started building giant ass WinStar casinos over here, well, Oklahoma's going to suffer and Shreveport's going to suffer, and they're going to lose a lot of their tourist business. Marijuana, I feel like they're going to do the same damn thing. I feel like that's going to be a problem. They're going to legalize it everywhere else.
No, I think
they're going to pay to keep it illegal here, so we go there to actually.
I think it'll still be a county by county thing, and some counties will accept it, and then it'll be just like it was with liquor in dry counties for however long.
Can they do that with marijuana?
Yeah.
County by county?
Yeah, as long as it's not like illegal by the state, which I don't think that the state has declassified it as an illegal substance yet, but they could downgrade it to a regulated substance and then leave it to the counties to decide, which is probably what they will do eventually because it's too much of a cash cow for them to not do anything about it.
That's what doesn't make sense to me. And I love how when it comes to, and speaking of politics, I love how they kick the can down the road to the smaller guy. I don't want to deal with it. Let the states deal with it. Well, I don't want to deal with it. Just let the counties deal with it. And it's like,
we don't want to deal with it. Let the cities decide.
Exactly. It's like, can somebody just make a decision?
No.
Well, I don't want to be the bad guy with the decision.
Yep. 100%. That's it.
I don't want the fucking stupid evangelicals getting mad at me.
Yeah.
Let them get mad at her or him.
I have to get reelected. I don't know about you all, but
just like how Abbott, was immediately like, well, you know what? I guess to-go orders like that, it's going to stay in place. That's what I'm going to wonder about what businesses are going to do nationwide with people who work from home. So the point that my sister, Samantha, brought up was parking garages. So with Cook Children's, they were running out of parking spaces. And a lot of people that work up at Cook Children's can do their work from home. And Samantha's rather high up supervisory there. And so she had elected to do majority of her work from home since her daughter's not in school right now. So somebody needed to be there. So she was there, like, I think 80% of the time at home, 1 day a week up at the hospital to make sure everything's all running well or whatever. Well, then the hospital goes, well, hey, we're going to do that with these employees and these employees. Well, they just completed another parking garage, which probably cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to build because they're running out of parking spaces in the hospital district. Well, now with everybody working from home, you have 2 half-empty parking garages and nobody using the third one. And so if productivity is shown to be just as well doing stuff like what we're doing right now, Zoom meetings, or it's called the invention of the internet, how much do you think that this is going to impact businesses going forward? I'm sorry, something just popped up on my screen that just threw me off like really hard.
Yeah, mine too. Mine says remaining meeting time 9 minutes and 44 seconds.
I'm just gonna have to throw some card information on here, and you guys are gonna have to take over the podcast for a second. But
okay,
how much do you think this is going to impact businesses? Do you think they're gonna go, oh well, hey, productivity is still good. We're still maintaining profits across the board, and people stayed at home. We don't need them in the traffic. We don't need them driving an extra hour out and an extra hour back. Quality of life is better, and productivity remains the same. That's the real question.
Their problem is going to be like those, which I never thought about before, those parking garage problems. So you have these companies that might have expanded or, built these parking garages or something before all this happened. And so now, your job can be done at home or could be done in a more isolated environment. But is it going to be able to be done given that they've given all that money towards that parking garage? Or are they going to say, oh, you need to come back? And that's where we need to start saying, I don't give a shit about your fucking parking garage. I'm sorry you spent that money. Not my problem. I don't need to be there.
I mean, since 1994, the internet's been out. It's advanced year over year.
And
much more with technology. And they knew that this was definitely the ability. I mean, people who travel internationally do this all the time. So now they just realize that these jobs can still be completed from home or from a satellite area, no issues whatsoever.
And
so
then
do you think it stays that way?
That's gonna the multi-tier sort of problems that comes into is, you know, and I'm not an expert obviously, but I could just see this being a problem, or the mindset of the problem. The office space that's renting out that particular building, like, oh no, the company rented out this building, we need to use it. The company rented out this parking garage or whatever, they need to use it. So it's not even an issue of can you do the job there. It's more like, well, we already spent this money, so we need you to fulfill this sort of dedication. Even though there's a pandemic out there, there's something going on. So it goes down entirely to where the priorities lie whenever we reopen things, like restaurants. Like you have these restaurants, and I'm talking about the bigger ones, not like the mom and pop places that deserve like true bailouts, but like you know, we rented out this space before the pandemic. We need this fulfilled, this contract fulfilled. We have this contract we need fulfilled. We need that fulfilled. And so it's going to come down to, you know, can you work from home? Oh, of course you can. But are they going to allow that? Oh no, because they already spent this much money on that, and they need you to fill that
cost.
space.
The cost.
And that's the ultimate combat with this discussion of capitalism. You focus more on human lives or the cost and
quality of life. I've never even heard. Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, just not to disagree with any of that, but on the other side of that coin, a little more from the business perspective, where not from a malicious standpoint, I should say. There are a lot of industries where I know both the employers and the employees and the clients like and prefer to have the face-to-face contact and still be able to have somebody that's on site and be able to handle things right then and there, right, as opposed to a remote thing. So it's just I don't want to paint every single, be it larger corporation or mom and pop places, just this. Oh, we don't. I mean, it is, but it's all about profits and all of that. I think sometimes it is a bit more of a necessity, and I think a lot of people still, especially in the older crowd, the older Gen Xers and the Boomers that are still around, really prefer that face-to-face time and just that personal interaction, and not having to look and talk to somebody through a screen and I can see you.
With what's going on, to that I say, I don't give a fuck. I don't.
No, I very much understand that, but I mean more whenever things die down. Mike was asking about, is this going to permanently affect businesses? And I think eventually.
But look at this. Have y'all even ever heard of Zoom before this? Because I haven't.
No.
Oh my God. Do you guys ever watch Patriot Act? It's on Netflix.
No.
Patriot Games with Harrison Ford?
No, actually.
Okay.
It's called Patriot Act.
With Mel Gibson, yeah.
Yeah, the Patriot.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie with
He brings freedom.
Oh yes, right.
Freedom.
No, it's called Patriot Act. It's hosted by Hassan Minhaj. He used to be on The Daily Show. He's a very funny guy. He was just having a little bit exactly about this. Oh God, I just lost my train. All that distracted.
I'm sorry.
Made me laugh and I forgot.
No.
We literally just saying.
He's going to punch a hole in the wall now.
Ah!
Don't punch Bree.
What were we literally just saying?
You said Patriot Act.
Before that.
You were talking about how it's going to impact businesses.
What
like the face-to-face versus the
the Zoom thing. The Zoom thing, because he had a really good thing about that. It was how did Skype completely drop the ball on this? I mean, they've had a 12-year head start, and it's a verb. I'm going to Skype you. How did they drop the ball? How did Zoom come out of nowhere and completely rip the carpet right up from underneath them? I thought that's a very, very interesting point there.
Absolutely.
Well, exactly. And like I don't speak for everyone, but yeah, I've literally never heard of Zoom before this pandemic. So if you want to believe in a conspiracy theory, I think it's a CEO of Zoom that's spreading the COVID-19. But I mean, look at this. Like you can say all you want, like, oh, I prefer face-to-face interaction. There is not a bit of difference between except for the fact that I can't actually touch your face. I can speak to you in an instantaneous moment like that. You get exactly what I'm saying to you, and you can respond.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you see there's not any lagging. There's nothing. And so, is this a long advertisement for Zoom that we got
Yes, it
for
is.
this podcast? Yes, is COVID-19 fake? You bet.
You want a little change of pace so we can not talk about that company anymore?
No, the one thing I do want to add is that there are a lot of jobs out there. There's marketing jobs, separate industry jobs. I don't know. You can really help me with this. Producing jobs, marketing jobs, certain stock market jobs. I mean, I'm just trying to grab at stuff. I mean, like a lot of this stuff can be done independently. It can be. You don't have to be in an office for certain things to happen.
No.
Jobs like yours,
no,
jobs like mine, you have to be.
No, the movies tell me that the stock market has to have people in the room, and they all have to be yelling buy, sell, waffles, tasty waffles.
Right now.
Okay, so with that right there, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here with the second part of this episode that will be uploaded on Facebook as well and YouTube. And yeah, so we got to upgrade the Zoom apparently. So let's do that.
The Zoom's not that great. I'm sorry. Excuse me if I spoke too soon.
What? Oh yeah, no. Now they're like now upgrade to Pro, and then talk about the benefits of Pro. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we'll be back on.
Excuse me if I spoke too Zoom.
That's